Rio Grande's Cuba. The villages of Cuba strive for independent wealth and influence. To gain wealth, the players will buy and sell products on the market and stock the ships that are coming into port. To gain influence, the player that sends the right delegate to Parliament will have a say in the political bills proposed. The goal is to gain the most victory points by the end of 6th round. You'll get victory points mainly for exporting goods and abiding by the current laws that have been implemented. Cost, recommended retail in Australia is $90. I will say I've seen Cuba for around $67 new in shops, and considering the components and style of the game, in my opinion, if you're picking this up for around that price, it's a steal. Players, you're looking 2 to 5, a good 2-player game, great with more. Approximate time around 90 minutes, that's what we're averaging at. But this could be anywhere between 70 minutes to 150 minutes, largely depending on the number of players and their experience with the game. So let's have a closer look at how the game is played.
Cuba is a heavier sort of game, and here I'll just give you a quick description of a few of the game's key elements. So we have here the game set up. Here we have the player's marker on the victory point path that continues around the board. 3 ships in the ports, each port worth a different amount of victory points. There is also 1 ship waiting at sea ready to arrive. There are 25 building tiles. I have here only a small example of these. The marketplace where products and merchandise will be sold and bought. Orange is citrus, white is sugarcane, green is tobacco, red is rum, and brown is cigars. Parliament House, where a player will be able to elect 2 current proposals. The 5 roll cards that players will play 4 of in a turn, and the 5th card will be sent to vote on the proposals submitted. The player's pesos, the player's plantation field, and worker piece. The turn starts and the proposals are submitted. At this stage they are not implemented, but the players can see what the government are proposing. Players then play a role, one after the other. I'll run through them one by one. The worker gathers resources and products from the field. Depending on where he is placed, he will gather different goods. The architect will build a building for the cost of resources listed on the tile. This distillery will cost the player 2 wood and 2 stone to build. The architect then places it on one of the field spaces. The mayor will supply ships in the dock. Here he takes 2 sugarcane gathered by the worker and places them on the ship. The foreman activates the buildings in the same space as the worker activated, or one building that is not an activated space. So, if the foreman were to activate the distillery, he would be able to convert sugarcane into rum bottles. The tradeswoman can buy and sell to the market for the listed price below the product. If something is in demand, it will be sold for more. If something is overstocked, it will sell for less. Remember, you only play 4 characters and the 5th one will vote. Each card has character's voting power indicated. The tradeswoman's is 2. A player can choose to buy votes for the cost of 1 peso per vote. Whoever has the most amount of votes will be able to elect 2 current proposals. Proposals will be things like pay 1 peso per building, give 2 products to stock, pay 2 additional pesos to erect a building, and so forth. After players complete the Parliament phase, paying taxes and so forth, the last ship and any filled ships will leave port, and other ships will move down, and a new one will arrive at sea. So how do you gain victory points? There are a few ways. The main way is each dock is worth an amount of victory points. For the first dock, it is 1 point per piece exported. The second dock is 2 points. The third dock is 3 points per piece on board the ship when it departs. You'll also get victory points by being able to abide by some of the introduced acts. A lot of acts will generate you victory points. There are also some buildings which will be able to convert goods into victory points.
I'll first off say that this was my first experience in a resource management game and playing a game where luck really kept its distance and strategy played the biggest part. I've always kind of stayed away from games that seemed overwhelming, assuming that the total time it would take to learn the game would exceed that of the time that I would spend playing it. I had looked into this game previously and may never have purchased it until the prime opportunity to get hold of it at a good price came up. I'm really happy that I did get it. It's been a great eye-opener. The rulebook really helps the game and is very well written and presented. The components are great, the wooden rum bottles, cigar boxes, resources, tiles, everything's really top notch. The artwork is simply stunning, as you saw. This is getting a lot of play by us, and I really like the way you can strategise, think of how buildings combined are going to help your game. I have taught this to the missus, who really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed teaching it, and I enjoyed the game that we played together. I will just say that I've not played Puerto Rico, and I have read that there are a few borrowed mechanics from that title. As to what the borrowed mechanics are, obviously I wouldn't know. Is it okay for kids? I would think kids around 12 plus are going to be able to grasp the mechanics and bits of the strategy of the game as well. Personally, I love Cuba, and I think given the value inside the box, you're getting a great strategy game, excellent components, excellent artwork, excellent rulebook, so basically it's an excellent game. It's a 10 out of 10, I think the game is worth every cent. For me, there's great value in this game, and it will definitely be staying in my collection.